So I'm sitting here right now with the president of my local union, the American Federation of Government Employees, Local 1858, Brother Abner Merriweather. Thanks for talking to me.
Yes, sir. You're welcome. Glad to be here.
Good.
Thanks for the invite.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I'm very glad that you that you were able to make it out. So I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about our local. Our local represents federal employees, and a lot of people when I tell people, I'm a member of AFGE, I'm a federal employee, and I'm a member of a union, they're like, federal unions, a public union. What do y'all need unions for? Why should y'all get unions? What do y'all need a union for? And it's like, well, why shouldn't we have a union? Every worker should have a union. So talk to us about, like kind of your experience in the labor movement as a public employee, and like what the union can do for federal employees. Like, why should a federal employee join the union here in Huntsville?
I'd just like to give a little history of our local. We've been local since the 50s. And so I think 55, something like that. So we've been a local there at Redstone since that time. Since that time, we have grown to at least 28 or 29 agencies in command that we represent. That's over 11,000 employees that we represent. So, and I've been a member, first became a member back in 1997. So I'll let you know approximately how long I've been out there. I've been out there a while, so to be honest, I have over 37 years of federal government employees experience. So we're mainly there to protect employees' rights. If you're a worker of any kind, from a plumber to a ditch digger, engineer to the professional world, we represent doctors, we represent attorneys, we represent nurses, we represent engineers, of all kinds. So just to give you a snapshot of who all we represent, and we're mainly there to protect employees' rights. I look at it like this. Joining the union is like having insurance on your car. You may not never need it, but it serves you good just in case you do need it. And believe me, we do have employees that need it from time to time. And we give free legal representation. We give local representative representation. So we have a whole program to basically help employees that has been disciplined or served some type of adverse action or reprimands, stuff like that, or even removal. So even promotions and awards, we represent employees with that as well. So we're just only there to protect employees' rights. So not only just that, but we have a whole laundry list of benefits. Even though our local biweekly dues are like $20.91, you can actually make that up 100 times more by joining the union, by enjoying those benefits. And we got benefits of all kinds, renting cars, buying cars. We had one employee that testified that he saved like $3,000 or $4,000 in buying his new car. So you can easily make that money up. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell, who we are about, and that's about it.
Yeah, and you said like we get the local can give free legal advice. The local represents people when they're done wrong at work. And one of the things that one of the reasons that people are like, federal employees, that y'all don't need a union, is they think that nothing bad can happen to federal employees, and that's just not true.
Right.
Federal have you got any stories kind of off the top of your head of because I've only I'm younger, I hadn't been around a whole long time, but I've heard a few stories of workers being done wrong, and it was the union that stepped in and saved their job, or got a manager to stop harassing them, or stuff like that.
I could talk all day about that, so I'll just give you at least one case in particular. we had an employee who basically was on probation. Everybody knows that probationary employees have limited rights. Everybody knows that. So in this particular case, the employee had like 2 days before her probationary period end. So the agency issued her a letter of termination. Well, she came to the union, and we examined every document that they gave this employee. And while examining what they gave the employee, the documentation, all the documentation they provided to her, so she provided us a copy of it, we found that the agency was a day late. So they missed the boat. So guess what? 6 months later, it's about 6 months, we took the case to Merit System Protection Board. And the employee warned with flying colors. The agency did not follow their own procedure. So the employee got all back pay, and not only that she got all back pay, she got a promotion out of it. Right. So that's just one case, upon many. I could stay here all day or sit here all day and talk about cases that we're won and we prevailed in. And I would say this, about 80% of the cases we get does have merit to it. The other 20%, we can't help everybody, and we're not a Johnny Cochran, but we do win about, I would say, 80% of our cases if they go to a third party. So we're very skilled and we're very good in what we do. And then sometimes we ask for national attorneys, and I would say the national has been very liberal about providing us legal representation from our national office. And once they take a case, you can guarantee this because that's all they do. They eat, sleep, and breathe this stuff. So you can believe this. If they take the case, believe me, either they're going to do two things. They're going to settle or they're going to win.
Right. Yeah, and here's the news flash. Federal employees have to deal with bad bosses too. And right. HR is not like... HR is one avenue, but they're there to protect the interests of the government. Like in a private company, they're there to protect the interests of the company.
That's right.
The union is made up of workers and is there for the workers' interests.
That's right. That's right.
And so, every worker, I believe every worker should have a union fighting for their rights, fighting for their interests on the job. And not have to rely on HR, who are fundamentally there to protect the interests of the company or the government, in our case.
That's right.
And we have to deal with bad bosses too. We have to deal with, there are folks. I know that we've had discrimination cases in our local that the union has been able to help the employees with, and these are things that you can't get outside of a union.
That's right.
And so how can folks, if they're a federal employee, how can they find out if they are, maybe they work for an agency that is represented by our union and they didn't know it? How can they find out more about us? Or if they're not represented by an agency, if they're not in an agency that's represented by our local, how can they form a union in their workplace?
Well, first of all, if you're not sure that you're part of a union, call me. I'm going to give you my personal telephone number and the office telephone number. My personal cell number is 256-520-5477. The union local 1858 telephone number is 256-876-4880. Now, if you think you're not part of the union, the bargaining unit, what you can do is still contact me, okay? We will show you how to form a union. We have a team of people from our 5th District office where David Mollett is the National Vice President. Where we have a team of people that come from our national office as well to help you form a union. For example, we made an initiative to unionize Missile Defense Agency at Redstone. That agency employs about 2,000 employees. And so we made an attempt. So we requested from our national office a team of people to come down. We requested a team of people from our 5th District office in Atlanta. And so there's a process for that. And the the key is you want 30%. Let's just say your organization represents, let's say, 1,000, where you need 30% of the workforce signature. It's a petition. You get 30% of those signatures. We take those signatures, and we always want more than that, just in case, you don't have enough. We may have estimated the total workforce. So you want a little bit over that, at least 10% over that, or maybe 5% over that. And so we take those signatures, and when you sign, the management do not have access to that list. That list is kept confidential. So only way management would know that you signed that petition list is that you actually told them. And so the next step is to submit that list to Federal Labor Relations Authority. And the Federal Labor Relations Authority, once they confirm that you have at least 30% of the workforce signature, what they will come in and do then and host an election. And anybody could participate in that election. They normally have the election on site. They'll come from Atlanta, Georgia. That's our district. They'll come to Atlanta, Georgia. They'll come from Atlanta, Georgia to Redstone, and they'll host an election. And you must have 51% of the vote. So if you got 100, you must have 51. And once you get that 51, the FLRA, within the same day, issue a certification letter to the union. And from that point on, you're part of the union. You're part of whatever union that you sign up for. Hopefully, you'll sign up for AFGE. We're the best, we're the best federal union in the federation.
That's right. That's right. Don't tell my machinist co-host that.
That's why I said federal. That's why I said federal.
No, NIFI is theirs. NIFI is a machinist union.
Well, NIFI will understand. That's our sister and brother. That's our sister and brother. We have a good relationship.
Yeah. Well,
with
no. That's important though. That's important because this show us we and even you. Of course, I'm a member of AFGE. I want you to join AFGE, but I don't care if you join NIFI. I think every worker should have a union. Every worker should be represented by a union. And fundamentally, I don't care if you organize with AFGE, if you organize with NIFI, if you organize with IFPTE.
That's right.
I don't care, but you need to join a union.
Amen. I agree with that, with Brother Morris. I definitely agree with that. We just want your rights protected. That's what it boils down to.
That's right.
We want your rights protected.
Brother Abner, you got anything else you wanted to say?
No, I just like to say this is a great day for me. After listening to some news, I heard that in support of the new administration coming up, and supporters of all unions. And I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah,
if it was not, then our right would be stripped. So I'm just happy.
Hoping for some good news out of the Biden administration once they start appointing board members to the labor board. Hoping for a good labor secretary, so we'll see. So,
and one more thing.
Yeah.
I will. Before I go, I would like to uplift and give honor to our national president, the great national president Everett Kelly.
Yes.
In my opinion, he's my model. I model after him. I watch him, and I have learned a whole lot from him. He was down here about 3 months ago. Is that right? And in the Black Lives Matter, I believe, event, or Lives Matter.
Yeah. We had a Labor for Black Lives rally, and Brother Kelly spoke at it.
And I would like to give honor to also our newly elected David Molly from the 5th District. Great MVP. We're looking forward to working with him and his team and his staff, and I'm just happy.
Yeah. Brother, thank you so much for chatting with me. I appreciate it.
Anytime.
All right.